November 2022, OpenAI released ChatGPT 3.5, and almost overnight, it took the world by storm. Companies rushed to integrate it into their products, while firms like Amazon explored using AI to write ebooks. But amid all the hype, money, and growing influence, OpenAI kept repeating one core principle, the same one written into its original charter: to develop AI that remains safe, non-profit driven in spirit, and beneficial for all of humanity. OpenAI wasn't just a pioneer in the AI industry. It was seen as the standard others should follow, a role model for the next generation of AI companies. Google, Meta, xAI, and many others soon entered the race. But none of them managed to earn the same level of trust and credibility that OpenAI had built. But fast forward to February 2026, and the Pentagon was preparing to expand its $200 million contract with Anthropic, another rising AI company competing with OpenAI. The US military stated that it intended to use Anthropic's AI services for all lawful purposes, a statement that raised serious questions about where the future of artificial intelligence was heading. But Anthropic wasn't having it. In a move that shocked Washington, the company drew two firm red lines. Anthropic flatly refused to allow its tools to be used for mass surveillance of American citizens or to power fully autonomous weapons systems. For a startup facing the full weight of the US military, it was a remarkably bold stance. The Pentagon responded with an ultimatum: agree to their terms or face the consequences. When Anthropic held firm, the Defense Department threatened to cancel its contracts entirely, with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth even considering labeling the company a supply chain risk, a designation previously reserved for Chinese tech giants like Huawei and ZTE. President Trump then ordered the entire US government to stop using Anthropic's products. Hours later, guess who swooped in? OpenAI, the same company that built its entire brand on safety, ethics, and benefiting humanity. For the world, it looked like a win for OpenAI. But little did Sam Altman know, it was only the beginning of his downfall.
Question was never what ChatGPT can do. It can do a lot. The question is, what should you do with it?
Is AI for replacing humanity? Is it for replacing human connection?
How can a company with 13 billion in revenues make 1.4 trillion of spend commitments?
And his mother claims he was murdered on your orders. Do you believe that?
Welcome to Sleuthing Scams, and today we will be talking about whether OpenAI will ever be able to recover. It takes a lot of effort, time and heart to bring these videos for you, so kindly hit that subscribe button. The Pentagon deal came as a shock to the world, and Altman himself admitted it all looked opportunistic and sloppy. But he had tasted blood. There was no way back. With over $1 billion in investment and the government in his corner, Sam Altman was, in short, unstoppable. They say power makes you brutal, and that's exactly what happened here. Altman became brutal, but somewhere in all the glitter, the fame, and the money, he forgot the one thing that had made OpenAI what it was in the first place: the public. The very community that once rallied behind OpenAI was now uninstalling it. The backlash was everywhere. In fact, one of the most upvoted posts on the ChatGPT subreddit urged users to cancel their subscriptions, stating, "You're now training a war machine." And it wasn't just a slogan. It made sense. Every prompt, every conversation, every interaction was feeding the very model, now sitting inside the Pentagon's classified networks. And the backlash wasn't just coming from the outside. Their own employees, alongside Google workers, signed an open letter calling for strict limits on the use of AI in warfare. The people building these systems were now publicly refusing to stay silent. When your own workforce turns against you, it's no longer just a PR problem. It's a reckoning. And then the Sora shutdown happened. A platform that completely changed the world of AI video generation, and was reportedly in the middle of a major partnership deal with Disney. Then suddenly, OpenAI pulled the plug. According to reports, Disney had met with OpenAI just 30 minutes before the shutdown, and apparently they had no idea it was coming. The illusion was beginning to crack, and for the first time, the world was seeing the harsh reality behind the AI revolution. Reports later revealed that Sora was burning through nearly $15 million every single day, and despite all the hype, the platform generated just $2.1 million in lifetime revenue. and Sora wasn't the first OpenAI product to win over the audience, only to be quietly shut down anyway. The same thing happened with GPT-4o. It was the only version of ChatGPT capable of truly natural conversations. The one users actually loved. And then just like that, it was gone. Claude stepped in and took over the coding crown. In fact, things had gotten so bad inside OpenAI that its own employees were caught using Claude until Anthropic revoked their access. These incidents revealed just how hollow the world's most powerful AI firm had become from the inside. Sure, the billions were rolling in. OpenAI was a star on paper, but if you look closer, you'll see that OpenAI was burning through cash at an even faster pace. And while $122 billion in funding looks spectacular on paper, look closely and you'll find that the majority of it comes from stakeholders who need AI to be profitable, not necessarily safe. Amazon needs AI demand to justify its massive AWS infrastructure, while Nvidia needs OpenAI's compute hunger to keep selling GPUs. And the situation is far worse than you think. But Sam Altman isn't someone who gives up easily. If anything, he's going all in. He recently moved to secure almost 40% of the world's memory chip supply, a power play so aggressive it sent RAM prices surging by 500%. This phenomenon became known as Ramageddon. And if you want to understand just how focused Altman is right now, look at the first major purchase he made right after the funding. He spent over $100 million acquiring TBPN, a tech and business podcast. But here's the thing. The channel pulls only a few thousand views per video. So why would the CEO of the world's most powerful AI company spend $100 million on a small YouTube channel? To understand that, we need to go back to December 2025, when the New York Stock Exchange announced a formal partnership with TBPN. Suddenly, the $100 million price tag starts making a lot more sense. Because OpenAI is planning its IPO later this year, and Altman just bought himself a direct line to Wall Street. And this won't be your average IPO. Goldman Sachs recently predicted it could be the biggest IPO cycle the market has ever seen. But before the average person even gets a chance to touch this stock, private equity firms are already playing an entirely different game. OpenAI is offering them guaranteed returns of 17.5%, along with early access to its latest models. The table is set and most people aren't even in the room. And OpenAI is more brutal than you might imagine. As of early 2026, the company is facing at least 8 wrongful death lawsuits. The most shocking one of them is the death of Suchir Balaji, who worked at OpenAI for 4 years. After quitting, he publicly stated that, "If you believe what I believe, you have to just leave the company." He then sat down with the New York Times, where he openly criticized OpenAI for breaking copyright law. He was also a potential witness in several major copyright lawsuits against the company. A few days later, he was found dead in his San Francisco apartment. The San Francisco medical examiner ruled it as self-inflicted. But his parents aren't convinced. There was blood found in other rooms of the apartment. Someone in that condition doesn't wander through their home and simply wait. Sam Altman was quick to defend the ruling, but many around the world, including Elon Musk, called it what they believed it truly was: a murder. OpenAI was once the most trusted name in artificial intelligence, the company that promised to put humanity first. But somewhere between the Pentagon deals, the lawsuits, the shutdowns, and the billions, that promise got buried. The real question isn't whether OpenAI can recover financially. It's whether the public will ever trust it again. And as history has shown us, money can buy a lot of things, but trust isn't one of them. But we need your trust and support to keep going. So kindly hit that subscribe button and don't forget to click on the bell icon.